Alright, thumbs up. Greetings, Anonymi, old guard, goons, betards, mutants, SubGeni, Discordians, Pastafarians, and Scientology plants. I am the Reverend Dr. Bishop Twobeans, ex-Pope of the East Bay in absentia. Sir Minister Sinister and unofficial liaison to Anonymous from the Church of the SubGenius. Praise be unto the SubGenius founder and leader, J.R. Bob Dobbs.
Preach it, Reverend!
I thank you all for coming down to the big shindig today. We've had a lot of speakers here that have spoken at length about the nefarious deeds wrought by the Church of Scientology. Now it is turn for one of the biggest religious rivals of the clams to pipe in and provide a perspective on the sons of Elron. There's only one way for me to properly do this, and that is with a genuine, sanctified, true SubGenius sermon. But before I can start, it is customary before a SubGenius sermon to begin to perform a little ritual, and I invite you all to join in on this holy tradition. So if you could please all bow your heads and join me in a second of sacred Bob Blam noise! 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 Make some noise, Anonymous! Praise Bob! Praise Bob! Brothers and sisters, what is the Church of Scientology? Is it a true religion?
No!
Well, as a member of the Church of the SubGenius, I have to say yes. The Church of Scientology is just as much of a true religion as the Church of the SubGenius. We SubGeni share much in common with the Cylons.
Protest the Church of SubGenius!
Yes, protest us.
Schism time!
We're both devoted worshippers of a fraud and a charlatan. We both have a belief system founded upon the generous helping of hypocrisy and dubious intentions. We both have an insatiable thirst for the cash of the naive and the ignorant. We both imbibe upon questionable activities in the duties of our services, and we both make really bad music. But the similarities do not stop there. For the Church of the SubGenius is also a cult. And thus, so is the Church of Scientology. Scientologists would try to tell you that they are not a cult. But let's take a look at the definition of a cult. Brothers and sisters, the dictionary definition of a cult is any religious or figure worship that has not attained popular status. A cult is not a major player in the religious stage compared to the bigger dogs of the world yard. While the national name brand religions are featured on Fox News, CNN, and TRL, we cultists steady reppin' the underground seed on cable access and public radio. Except that we SubGeni have done MTV more times than the Scientologists. So why would Scientology want to distance itself from the word cult? The public image of cults is that of overzealousness and fanaticism. People picture a cult as a group with an inquisitional paranoia and prejudice, and a secret security service and a private army. That's the image Scientology wants to shy away from, even though they are guilty of the actions that brought about the negative connotations to the word cult in the first place. A Scientologist is often the first to use the word cultist as an insult to my fellow brothers and sisters in Bob. So I say this to you, Scientologists, from one cultist to another. Do not belittle us or other cultists simply because you are the ones that sullied the word.
Yeah!
Now you may be asking yourselves, why do the SubGenius and Scientologist cults share so much in common, yet are so opposed to one another? Could there be a connection between the two groups? The answer, brothers and sisters, is yes. Not only do we share a crossroads, but also a start line. The Church of the SubGenius and the Church of Scientology began at the same time as the same organization. And allow me to share with you the parable of Bob and Ron. Bob, not long after his divine immaculation and enlightenment in the early 50s, set about creating his vision for a world-dominating religious sect like no other. He gathered together some of the most brilliant and vacant minds of his age. World leaders, religious figures, successful businessmen, ascended masters, professional clowns, and other assorted nuts. Together they set about building the basics of what was to be the first version of the Church of the SubGenius. One of these collaborators was a starving pulp writer named L. Ron Hubbard. Bob took pity on the young Hubbard and placed him under his wing, for he hoped that Ron could learn from his teachings, because he seemed crazy enough to understand them. Bob said on to L. Ron Hubbard, "They may be pink, but their money is still green." Hubbard took this to heart and eventually climbed his way up the ladder to be Bob's second man and almost equal partner in the grand religious business venture. It was then that this proto-SubGenius church had an ideological split. Whereas Hubbard wanted to base the church on a mythos of bad science fiction, Bob was adamant on founding it on a mythos of bad science fiction that was at least funny.
Praise Bob!
Alas, this dogmatic schism toward a rift between the business partnership, Bob and Ron parting ways. Bob went on to found the Church of the SubGenius, converting all the mutants and misfits of society, whereas Ron targeted his recruitment upon the humans and the normals that he can con easily.
Bribe the big boy!
So this brings us here to today, and why I am here to support the efforts of Anonymous. It is not purely because Anonymous is a ripe garden of souls to harvest for Bob. It is also that as a SubGenius, I cannot help but feel it is our duty to help clean up the mess that our high EPOP helped to make. All I ask, brothers and sisters, is that you not blame Bob for his actions, for Bob is, and forever shall be, incredibly stupid. Thank you all once again, and may Anonymous find slack in this its good fight.
Yeah!
Praise Bob and praise Anonymous.
Praise Bob!
And a special shout out to my Southwest Michigan Anons in Battle Creek.
Yeah.
Keep on with the good shit.
Yeah!
Praise Bob! Praise Anonymous.
Praise Bob!
Hail Bob.